Now, I'm no stranger to Resident Evil. It's always been a huge part of my gaming life since I was a little kid. Back in '98, watching that pixelated Romero zombie turn around and look straight into my soul after he just ate out some dude's trachea would definitely explain some of the social problems I suffer from now. That being said, I take pride in the fact that I hold no bias when it comes to this series. I've been completely open about the total nuggets of fecal matter that Capcom has been packaging in their recent boxes. But with the critical and commercial success that Revelations brought them on the 3DS last year, Capcom issued a makeover and it was released for console. And so without further ado, I present to the Nerd Nation
Resident Evil Revelations.
Resident Evil has been a main contender in the survival horror genre for years up until recently. The player runs around in third person completing objectives and solving puzzles while fighting off ungodly abominations. I was very happy to see that Capcom bled out a little bit of the action with this one and brought back some tense moments of weakness and helplessness. Pretty early on, I completely ran out of ammo and had to throw down in a knife battle with the boss. Now that would sound pretty lame to the casual gamer, but anyone who's been playing survival horror would know that the tension and stress that moment brought me boosted this particular installment back up into the ranks of the originals. Visually, Revelations isn't bad at all. The environments within the game are found lacking, minus the main setting, which is a cruise ship by the name of the Queen Zenobia. Lavish banquet halls are adorned with beautiful woodwork, and maintenance hallways are heavy on design and intricacy. The main foyer is a marvelous reminder of the Spencer estate, and it really bums me out that Capcom hasn't made this their quality standard for their titles. If I have to nitpick, the characters all appear to have this odd gleam on them, as if they were covered in baby oil. Blocked hallways are everywhere, and it completely takes me out of the experience. And some of the cinematic shots were taken with the 3DS in mind, which you can definitely tell. This isn't necessarily a negative, it just puts an odd focus at a single person or object with an obvious amount of foreground. Revelations features a cast of new characters who work for a new organization known as the FBC, which is currently combating a revived terrorist group known as Veltro, who are responsible for the exposure of the T-Abyss virus. Okay, there it is. I knew this game had to be majorly flawed somehow. You know, because with the RPD, STARS, BSAA, Umbrella, Illuminados, Tricell, T-Virus, T-Veronica virus, G-Virus, Las Plagas, Oro freaking Boros, C-Virus, just wasn't enough shit for us to all deal with. Now we have the FBC and Veltro and viruses B1 through 12. Yes, the story is pure trash, per Capcom's usual requirements, but at least we get to see Chris and Joe.
Oh, damn! Okay.
The new characters are hollow, shallow, and atrocious. But that's not anything new. I'm gonna go on now because I'm just getting angry. Here lies the saving grace of this title. The characters are all a bit light on their feet, which bums me out a tad because the result is a very arcadey feel, though this doesn't make the game unplayable by any means. Revelations is still a crazy amount of fun and the combat still appeals to all who loved 4. Capcom has added a different upgrade system to this title. Parts are found throughout the environment and can be added onto weapons to increase stats. It's shallow and easy, so I'm pretty neutral on it being there at all. One cool thing that I thought was worth noting is that the use of an herb has now been set to a single button press. Notes were definitely taken from Dead Space, and you can tell. Puzzles are lame and simple, which is disappointing. I always loved the intellectual requirements of the series. Something about having to sadistically perform some mental task in order to escape the surrounding nightmare just added to the horror for me. Not only did you have to be strong, you had to be quick and clever. A new raid mode has been added in place of mercenaries. You can play solo or online with another person and take on objectives in various locales of the campaign. You then level up and earn new weapons, upgrades, characters, and costumes. The only problem with this being that I had extreme difficulty finding someone to join, and whoever decided to join me was always like level 50 and immediately exited upon seeing my level 1. Aww. While Capcom couldn't write a story to save their lives, the sound design in Revelation is on lock as always. Ambiance sets the atmosphere perfectly, setting up jump scares with a pause and then an instant jerk of the strings. Hearing a threat before seeing it is an aspect of horror gameplay that is an absolute favorite of mine. Assessing a threat by a less powerful sense is a terrifying thing. You then frantically scan the immediate area to locate this sound or smell or vibration. It's the smaller touches like this that really get my notice in games. I bought a 3DS solely for this title. When it released, hours upon hours of my life went into it. It was incredible. It revolutionized handheld gaming and deserved every dollar it earned. I had mixed feelings about it coming to consoles, and to be honest, all that time I put into the first version definitely took away from the console release. If you have a 3DS and like Resident Evil at all, you should seriously go get the handheld version. If not, the console version is definitely worth its newly discounted price. For solid gameplay, engaging environments that pay respect to the classics, balancing action with horror, further convoluting the storyline, and requiring less thought, I have to give Resident Evil Revelations a 7 out of 10. Revelations for the console isn't bad. If you can turn off your brain and just enjoy gunning down monsters, you should give it a chance. It's certainly better than anything that's been released since 4 came out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Tyrant with Rumble Pack Gaming. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, give us some feedback, share it with your friends, and definitely stay tuned to the end of the video to click out on our other content. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.
Damn!